You gotta keep on breathing if you wanna make sense of it all. We will not fall.
Okay, so we're going to start in child's pose. That's nice. For some, not for everybody. So you can use your bolster if you want to lie over the bolster for the child's pose, because we're going to be there for about 3 or 4 minutes. It's our starting pose, so it's our intention setting and finding our breath. So just coming into your child's pose, maybe it's wide-legged, maybe the knees are slightly together. And then just start to soften into that posture after your day. And you kind of, the first time you kind of go into a posture, you start to feel the body, tight areas, and then you can breathe out and let those tight areas go and relax a little bit. And you might notice that the hips feel tight. You might notice the back feels a little tight, or they just feel normal and usual, and that's the way your body feels. So allow the breath to settle. Breathing in and out through the nostrils. Letting the body sink just a little bit more each exhale. And this is a really nice opportunity when our forehead is down, either on a mat or the block or the bolster, to draw into the third eye area, the area of insight, intuition, and intellect, and focus, concentration, and clarity, to draw an intention for practice. So what is your purpose of being on the mat today? What do you need most? What benefits do you wish to receive during and walking away into the rest of your day? Feeling the release more into the spine, breathing all the sides, front and back of the body. The rib cage expands with each breath. And the exhale lets go of tightness, tension, gripping, engagement of muscles. Take a nice deep breath in and just sigh out that breath with an open mouth. Fully, all the way to the end of the exhale before starting that inhale again. And then on that inhale, you can bring the hands underneath you. Gently press yourself back up to kneeling. Take time. No rush, keeping the chin down towards the chest as you gently uncurl the spine. And then just bring yourself upright, settling the shoulders, maybe giving them a little roll from the child's pose. And just give yourself a hug here. So we're going to wrap our arms around us, give ourselves a nice hug. And maybe you can catch the shoulder blades behind you. Just draw up the belly back a little bit. Keep the head upright, but just round the spine. So drop navel into spine, spine behind you. So you're kind of sinking a little bit more into the hips, and then release, and then swap the arms over to the other side. Again, reaching those fingers back to take hold of the shoulder blades, and then again we start to drop. keeping the elbows lifted, but rounding out through the spine. So it's kind of like we're slouching back into the hips, back into the buttocks. And then gently unravel. And let's come off of that tadpole pose by coming into tabletop. Slide the hands forward and just find your neutral spine here. And because we were in child's pose, you might have felt that the back of the legs were, getting all tightened up, as it were, with the tightness of the compression. So just release the toes, release the ankles, give the toes a little press back, stretch into the toe beds, push the heels back behind you, and then release, press the tops of the feet down and lift the knees just maybe an inch. And then do that again, tuck the toes, stretch into that flexion, and release and push through the tops of the feet. Nice. Now we come into our cat and cow. Slow and steady breath in all the way to the end of the breath and releasing, rounding, breathing out. Fully emptying the lungs. So close the eyes, draw in, and we do cat and cow all the time, and there's a reason for that, because it draws the breath into movement. It draws our focus into our spinal mobility, our range of motion, and kind of gets us in tune with everything in the body. And nice and slowly, after you've just taken your last cat pose, we're going to release, and maybe grabbing some blocks if you need them, or a bolster. We're going to come into our lizard pose. So it's going to be a lizard with the foot on the wider edge of your mat. So maybe just so that they're not like in line with the hips a little bit. Drop down and keep the chest nice and lifted, and you can bring the blocks down a little bit lower, or maybe the hands meet the floor. That's okay. So lift the chest. Drop the hips. You're going to feel that stretch maybe on the inside of the thigh. I've turned my knee outwards. I've turned my foot out. You can try that one. You might like to go on the outer edge of the foot, rolling over. And again, just gently guiding the body down towards the floor. From here, we're going to pull back into half splits, but we're going to roll back that foot if you took it out and keep the foot pointed. So pulling the toes down. So ordinarily, we come back into that flexion through the ankle, but I want you to try to keep the toes all the way down. Slide the blocks forward maybe, or take the hands off of the blocks to reach down into the forward fold. You might be feeling that into, inner groin, inner hamstrings. Again, nothing's forced here. We're just allowing the head and the body of gravity in the fold. Keep pulling that big toe down, stretching into the top of the foot, top of the ankle, and nice and slowly we're going to slide those blocks back, and we're going to release that right leg out to the side. So finding our gate pose, so stacking joints on top of one another, hips, shoulders and knees all in alignment. You can turn the toes forward, maybe the toes are facing out to the side, that's okay. Reach up and over towards the extended leg first of all. Drop over to the side, so from the side, let me show you. Kind of looks like that. Good. Feeling that side body stretch all the way from the hip, all the way to the armpit and to the hands. Nice. And then from there, we're going to reach forward into a fold. So hands come down to the mat. And this is kind of like a heart pose. So you melt the chest, but that right leg stays out. So maybe the elbows drop to the floor, We're pressing down through the back left foot. Breathe out deeply, melt the chest between the shoulders. Yeah, we're holding these postures for about 5 or 6 breaths. It might be about a minute or so. Walk the hands back. Press up through the hands, come back into tabletop, and this time we're going to thread through our left hand all the way to our right foot. So we're in a twisted thread the needle, and then maybe you can introduce a bind, or the right arm stays on the floor. So we're just resting on that left shoulder and left ear, left temple, rotating the rib cage up towards the sky, reaching fingertips towards right toes. Opening out right chest, right shoulder, 5 or 6 breaths. Right hand comes away from that bind, or bring it back from the top of the mat. Press in through that hand, bring that hand back into the tabletop. Switch that leg back and change sides. So we've got lizard, half splits, gate pose, melting heart gate, and then thread the needle. So again, exhaling, hips keeping chest nice and lifted. Again, that left foot might be rolling out onto its outer edge. That's up to you to decide. Five or 6 breaths. Slowly pull the hips back, and we keep all 5 toes pointing down, stretching through all the toes, the ankle. Take that into the fold, push those blocks or hands forward, exhaling to the floor. Ooh, I feel this one on the left side. Very different. And it's always about just honoring each side as you move from right to left. And today our practice does have a lot of right and lefts. So it is a time to just notice where you feel those target areas. Gently bend into the knee, slide the blocks back, and this is where we go into that gate pose. So I'm going to turn around to the side and extend the leg. Good. So again, we're thinking stacking shoulder, hip, and knee on top of one another, toes face forward if you feel comfortable, reaching up and over to the extended leg. That's it. Good. And again, we're feeling that stretch all the way from the thigh up the side of the body into the arm, reaching it over. Nice. Oh, no, wrong leg. Reaching fingers towards that left ankle, and then bring yourself back up into center. Hands come down. We go into that melting heart variation. So keeping hips nice and level, reaching hands forward, exhaling. Maybe the elbows come down onto the floor, but just notice what's going on with the left hip. Is it hitching up, or can you drop the left hip just a little bit? We're still staying up over that right knee. We're not dropping the buttocks back towards the heel. That right shin, right ankle is a little bit activated, pressing down through the floor. That takes the pressure off of the kneecap. Find the steadiness of the breath. Navel gently draws in. I'm not going to lie, I find this one tough myself. Definitely working into my inner thighs, inner groin, and also my shoulders and my chest. Slowly walk the hands back to press down into the floor. Come back up into tabletop, and this time we thread right arm through and under towards the left toes. Keep high up on that right knee, and then again, left hand can stay by the face. It can move forward of your mat, or it can take a bind, wrapping it around towards the right hip. So we're down on our right ear, right temple, right shoulder. Steady and slow breaths. We're going to come off the knees after this posture. Bring the left arm back, press back into that tabletop position, and sweep the left leg back to meet the right. Let's pull back into an active child's pose just to release, reaching the arms forward, taking a nice deep exhale. Breathe wide of the rib cage, front, back, and sides. And then from here, hands come back as we gently roll up to knees and spin the legs around in front of us. So sitting tall, let's just work through the feet and the ankles just a little bit so you can spread the toes, pointing, flexing, sitting tall, either on a block or a bolster. Rotate through the ankles, give them a little release one way and the other. Good. Give the legs a little shake out. I'm going to come into a forward fold. So reaching up the arms, and you can always bend the knees here, please do. Reach up, hinge from the hips, lean the chest forward towards the toes, and don't overforce this stretch first of all. Maybe you take hold of the hands to the feet, the ankles or the shins, wiggle the flesh, and then exhale, let gravity do your work for you. Again, 5 or 6 breaths. And just notice, is the navel gently pulling back, or are you letting the belly relax here? What happens when you let the belly relax? And what happens when you gently pull the navel back towards the spine? How does that differ for you in the fold? Nice and slowly lengthen the spine. Nice flat back there. Just notice that extra little stretch. And then you can release the hands from the left leg. You're going to bring your right leg back with you, placing the sole of the foot on the inside of the calf or the thigh. I'm going to turn just a little kind of angled towards the side of your mat. Left hand goes to your right knee and reaching up and over towards the extended leg. So we're not trying to cave the chest in, we're trying to roll the rib cage to the sky, reaching hands towards the foot. And gravity does most of the work for you here in this lateral half dragonfly. And then gently bring yourself back up. The hand goes back to the floor and we lift up, pushing the hips forward just to release out. Nice big circle of the arm all the way back around. Get into that shoulder joint. And then as you come back down, we're going to move that right knee inwards to your half hero. So you're going to lift the knee and then turn it inwards and take it into your half hero pose. That's it. Nice. Good. Sitting nice and tall, dropping down through both buttocks. Exhale, fold over the thighs. Dropping down through the right buttock, letting both shoulders sink equally to the floor. Just one more breath. Lengthen the spine once more. Nice flat back, open it out the chest. Notice how that feels in the extended leg. Press yourself back up. Hands come back behind you. We're going to lift up into a half upward facing plank. So pressing into that right shin, right heel, lifting the hips. Again, just 2 or 3 breaths. I know that's deep onto the wrist, but push the hips up. Get that quad stretch there into that right thigh. And lower the hips down and keep the hands where they are. And maybe you come down onto the elbows or you stay on the hands. Elbows might be okay. Maybe you go all the way back. It's up to you. So you might go to the floor, or if you've got that bolster to hands, oh, that is tight. I'm not going to lie. Feeling it here. And you know, when you've gone too far and that leg starts to pull off away from the mat, that's when you know, okay, I need to come back up. That was super tight. And then press the hands down, lift back up, and gently roll over, release, right leg. Oh, nice, good. Second time around, we do that seated forward fold. Lifting up, reach up and over. Aim the chest for the toes, hinging from the hips. Hands come down to the feet, the ankles, the shins. Give the flesh a little wiggle away from the sit bones. Lift and lengthen. Exhale, release into the fold. Let gravity do the work for you. Pull navel gently back. The head relax towards the knees. Lengthen the spine from the tailbone, lower back, middle back, upper back. Chest opens. Stay in that nice flat spine, shoulders away from the ears. Nice. As we come back, we release hand from the right foot. We bring the left in, either to the calf or to the thigh. Let me turn around this way. So again, we direct ourselves just a little bit off to the side of our mat. We take our right hand to our left knee and reach up and over. And you'll see that every pose so far has mostly been left and rights, apart from our child's pose. So we've all got something to focus on with balance, right and left sides of the body. Let gravity drop that body deeper towards the right leg. Each breath out releases you just a little bit more. Breathe in, lift back up, hand goes behind you, release the right arm, roll up onto that left shin and circle the arm all the way back around. You're drawing a big, big circle behind the head, just getting into that shoulder. Nice. As we come back down, we then bring that left leg into that half hero pose. Get both sit bones nicely grounded. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, fold it forward. Letting head drop down towards the shin. Trying to pull down the left buttock. If you feel that you're rolling over to the right a little bit, then I would say come up a little bit more and try and level out the buttocks before going into the fold. What tends to happen is we think, I want to go deeper in the fold, but you're rolling over onto the right buttock. I say that because I did it. Lengthen through the spine. Tailbone lengthens back down towards the mat, lengthens sacrum. Walk the hands back all the way behind you, fingertips face forward, half upward facing plank, lift the hips, stretch those right toes down, lift the hips up. Got a deep stretch going through that left quadricep, left hip, lift hips, push the chest up. Nice. Lower it down, and then maybe you come back onto the elbows or a bolster if it's handy. So we're trying to drop that left hip just as much as the right one there. And again, if you do go all the way back, I'm going to see. But again, if my knee starts pulling away from the floor, I know that I have gone too far and I need to come back up again. Nice and slowly use the hands, push yourself back up. Just take a moment to sit and then unravel that leg. Release it out. Give the knees a little massage and the back as well and the sides. Give the legs a little shake. Nice. Let's go into our deer pose. Let me turn around this way. So right leg comes out and maybe the shin is parallel to the front of the mat. If we were going into pigeon, I would not say that, but with deer pose we can. So you can do the little kind of shimmy through the buttocks, and again we're twisting towards our right thigh, getting the belly all the way over and dropping down. Let's stay here for about 7 breaths. Now notice relaxing out through the underneath buttock, underneath hip. And because we're doing a fold in this deer pose, we're getting all of that extra weight over that right leg. Couple more breaths. So from here, we're going to stay nice and low to the floor, and we're going to start to circle ourselves kind of backwards. So you might put the forearm down on the floor, that's it. And then start to open out the top arm and reach it back. So it's like a wild thing, really, but we're still in deer pose. So back hip, back leg gets a nice stretch. And then keep low once more. So we scoop all the way back around, back through that deer fold. Keep circling until we come all the way to our back leg into a twist. So just kind of flexing out through the front right ankle, drawing that right knee down and pulling yourself towards the back left thigh. And nice and slowly unravel and change legs. So I'm going to come this way. So left leg in front, right leg behind. Our front shin parallel to the front of the mat. Start to take a little twist, getting the belly, the chest down over that thigh. Coming down, resting the head on hands, blocks or bolsters. Drop into that left hip. Left glute relaxes. 6 or 7 more breaths. And then stay low. Move your left arm out gently back behind you at about a 45-degree angle. This is where we start to open up the chest and we release our right arm to just stretch back behind us. So try not to drop into this left shoulder, but push away from the floor, keeping the ear away from that left shoulder, opening the chest up, pushing that right hip flexor towards the sky. Nice. And then stay low. That right arm comes back around. We bring the body back to the thigh and we keep circling. And maybe then we bring that heel a little closer in towards the buttock as we drop the back buttock down to come into that twist and rotation of the spine. It's a gentle flexion in the front foot. And we're gently drawing or pushing that left knee down to the floor by itself. We don't need to use the hands, we just gently push it down. And then nice and slowly we come back into center. We release the legs and just take them wide of your mat. Let me go this way. Sit nice and tall, or you can have the hands behind you and just drop them over, windscreen wiper. Good. And once we've done 3 on each side, we come back into the center, we swing the legs around behind us. We're going to tuck our toes and we're going to push ourselves back into our downward facing dog. So lift the hips, pedal out through the feet, release a heel at a time. Feel the stretch down the back of the legs. We've already done some forward fold, so I'm hoping those hamstrings don't feel too tight. But really get into the toes, into the soles of the feet, into the heels releasing and pressing chest back towards the thighs. When you're ready, release into the down dog. Fully bent knees if you need. Find 5 to 6 breaths. If you need to come down to tabletop or child's pose, please do. 3 more breaths. Looking forward to the hands, walk the feet all the way to the center of your mat. Drop the feet down nice and flat, spread the toes, spread the feet. Make sure the weight's nice and equal, rocking backwards and forwards. And then bend the knees nice and deeply. Drop the belly, the chest down over the thighs. Wrap the arms around behind the knees. So maybe you can clasp either the wrists or the elbows there. So we're really trying to squeeze our body as close as we can to our thighs. So deep, deep bend, letting the head relax. Now, take this one slow and steady. We're going to try to keep the arms where they are and the chest where it is, and start to lengthen the legs. So legs might not go fully straight, but we are pulling our body close towards the thighs, letting the crown of the head point towards the toes. So if you feel the tremors setting in, you may have gone a little bit too far, so just bend back the knees once more. 3 more breaths in this hold. And then release the elbows, release the hands to the floor, lift the heart, half lift, lengthen the spine. And this is where you might then lengthen the legs fully. So you can feel that stretch in that half lift going all the way to the top of the hamstrings underneath the glutes. We're going to heel toe, feet out, wider edges of the mat. And we drop down slowly, slowly, slowly into our squat. Let's stay. 5 to 6 breaths. Release the hands to the floor. Gently lift the hips up. Heel toe the feet back into parallel. Take that full fold once more. Maybe the hands come behind you this time to take hold of the Achilles or the calves, wrapping the elbows in towards the legs. Keeping the weight mostly into the toes, not swaying back into the heels. And then nice and slowly, we come down to the floor. Find your tabletop once more and just release through cat and cow, because we've done deep forward folds, but we haven't done too much back bending. We did a little bit in that deer pose stretch, but release through the lower back there. And then take the legs wide. So coming into our dragonfly or wide leg seated posture. So you can go sideways on if you like. So sitting nice and tall on the sit bones. You can sit on a block should you need to. Keep the knees bent should you need to as well. Just for kind of anatomy's sake, either point or flex the feet or fully relax them. So just be aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it. When you're flexing, that the legs are fully engaged. When you're pointing, the tops of the legs mostly are engaged. When they're relaxed, we can work a little bit deeper. So sliding the hands forward, we are hinging from the hips, chest is open, long spine. Try not to let those toes roll inwards. Only go as far as is comfortable, where you can stay and hold for 5 to 7 breaths. We're rolling the thighs backwards. So think about the thighs rolling out and back. That's it. Neck is in line with spine. Spine reaching down to floor. 2 more breaths. Now stay low if you can and start to move the torso over to the left leg. So start to take the torso over and exhale over that extended left leg. Dropping right shoulder down. That's it, letting the head drop down towards the knee. Now from here, we're going to open up into a stretch. So reach the right hand to the right foot. Again, stay low if you can, and then open and peel that arm away from the body into that nice side stretch. So slightly different from our half dragonfly. And then gently lift up to seated. Oh, those are deep stretches, aren't they? Yes, I can feel them too. Slide the hands forward, second time into that forward fold. So hinging from the hips, nice long spine. We're reaching those sit bones back. Keep the chest nice and open. Try not to let the shoulders roll forwards. Toes don't turn inwards. We're externally rotating those thighs. Navel gently pulls in towards the spine. 3 more breaths. Feel comfortable and ease here. And then staying low, start to spider finger the hands over to the right leg this time. And then again, when you get there, start to exhale and fold, letting the head come down towards the knee and dropping into the left shoulder. That's it. So with both shoulders and chest, ideally working their way to face that right leg. Navel pulls back gently. And then from here, we release the right hand to that foot and we roll open the rib cage, just uncurling that arm. Reminding yourself to breathe. And then press yourself back up, release the hands, and just lift the knees together. Bring the knees in and just give them a squeeze here. So I quite like to squeeze the knees. I don't know what it does, but I quite like it. And let's come down onto our backs. So taking a nice slow roll down. If you need to, have a strap by the side of you. That's for our reclined leg stretch. When you get down onto your backs, draw the knees in and gently roll out and massage through the spine. So our seated work focused on inner thighs, hamstrings, quads, forward folds, and a few little back bends, but mainly lateral flexion, so side body stretching. Our reclined work will work through our hips, outer hips, and hamstrings. So circling out the hips one way and the other. And then placing left foot down on the mat. Right knee comes in towards the chest. Give it a nice big squeeze. Lengthen the spine underneath you. Lengthen the neck. And if you need to, placing a block or a blanket underneath the back of the head here kind of prevents you from lifting up the chin or dipping the chin too much. If you feel that you need to pop a strap over that right foot, please do so. Or you can simply hold on to the ankle, the calf, trying to keep the thigh as close as we can in towards the chest, just as we did in those standing forward folds. We don't have to extend the leg fully. We're just starting to gauge how our hamstrings feel. Drop the thigh down towards the chest just a little bit more. Now, if you want to intensify that, releasing the left leg all the way down the mat. So just figure out where you need to be in this stretch. What's your target areas? Where are you feeling it? What sensations are coming up? Keeping the leg where it is, lift the upper body. Lift the shoulders away from the mat. Bring the head as close to the knee as you can. Does that make the stretch just a little bit easier, more comfortable? Pull the elbows in towards the midline. Now, keeping the leg where it is, roll back. Go steady. From here, we bend gently at the back of that right leg, and we cross over the right foot over the left knee. Preparing for our reclined pigeon, we interlace our fingers underneath the thigh and draw that knee in towards us. So opening out that right knee. The closer that left knee comes towards you, the deeper that posture is going to feel. Try and soften out through the right buttocks, right hip. From here, release the fingers, place the left foot down. We're going to roll over onto our right hip. Keeping the right foot where it is, we're going to drop down the right knee and release into that little stretch there. So, right knee drops down, so the left leg, you're getting a stretch through the quad and the hip flexor, all up into that psoas as well. Maybe the arms then can come out into cactus or in line with the shoulders, and we're pulling down left shoulder blade. From here, we keep the foot where it is. We move back into the center. We realign the left foot, and we're going to roll over onto our left hip this time, placing our right foot down onto the floor. IT band stretch, gently pushing that right knee away from us. Now, if you like, your option here, right hand might take left foot. Doesn't have to. As long as that right foot is grounding and you're gently drawing that right knee away from you, you might be able to catch the foot. If you caught the foot, let the hand go, take the arms back into shoulder height. From here, we unravel the right leg and place the soles of the feet together into butterfly. Letting the back naturally arch, relaxing into the hips, the inner thighs, letting the knees become heavier. Take the hands to the outer thighs. Let the hands do the work as you lift the legs together. Place the soles of the feet wide of your mat. Let the knees drop in towards one another. Just find constructive rest before we do all of those 4 postures on the left side. So we've got a hamstring stretch. We've got a glute and piriformis stretch in our pigeon. We have a twist and rotation, hip flexor and quad stretch. And then we have our IT band. And finally moving into butterfly. Heel toe back into parallel. Keep the right knee bent, sole of the foot on the floor, draw the left in towards the chest. Exhale, keep the thigh in as close as you can and extend from the back of the knee. Using a strap or holding onto the ankle, the shin, the calves. Dropping that thigh down towards the belly and the rib cage. If you wish to, lengthen the right leg all the way along the mat. Realign if you need to here. And then lifting head and shoulders off of the mat. Pull yourself up towards that leg as close as you can. Get to that left thigh. Head comes in towards the knee or the shin. And then exhale, keeping the leg where it is. Roll the shoulders back. Nice. Roll the head back. Breathing out. From here, we release the hands. We place the left foot over our bent right knee. Interlace the fingers behind your right thigh. Draw in for that reclined pigeon. Using the elbow maybe as leverage on that left inner knee. Using the hands to pull the right thigh closer. And then release the hands, place the right foot down, rolling onto our left hip, dropping that left thigh, left knee down to the floor. The left foot still stays on our right knee, and we just roll over onto the right foot. Open the arms out, pulling the right shoulder blade down. Really allowing the weight of that left foot to draw the right knee down. And we breathe in, we bring it all back into the center, realign hips, pelvis, feet, and then roll over onto your right thigh, right hip, placing left foot down on the floor, pushing that left knee away from you. Maybe left hand catches right foot. Doesn't have to. I'd rather you stay in the IT band stretch than fight for the foot. Release the foot if you caught it, and unfold that top left leg, placing the soles of the feet together, realign and find butterfly once more. And then scooping the hands around to catch the outer thighs, lifting the legs up towards one another, placing soles of the feet wide, knees drop in, constructive rest for a moment, relax everything. Heel toe, feet into parallel. Draw the knees in, give yourself a nice squeeze. Lengthen tailbone, lengthen spine, lengthen neck. Roll and massage, just circle the knees around one way and the other. Open the knees, give the hips a little bit of release. Take both legs up towards the sky. Keeping the tailbone down, we're going to draw those toes towards the back of our mat or the back of our heads. So keep dropping and drawing those legs towards you. Spine stays long, keep the tailbone dropped. Keep drawing toes towards the back of the head. I'm sure you are feeling that all the way from the top of the hamstrings right down the back of the legs, all the way to the Achilles. It's like a down dog. And then we're going to take those knees wide, hands reach up to take hold of the feet, pull them down, wide of the rib cage, happy baby. Lengthen spine, pull knees nice and wide of the rib cage. And then bring those heels in towards the buttock and place the soles of the feet wide. Keep the knees open wide, arms into cactus, spread the shoulder blades apart. Drop the knees over to the right. Let's just stay there, turn the gaze to the left. Breathe the head back in, breathe the knees back in, center. Realign if you need to. Knees drop to left and head turns to the right. Breathe the head back in slowly, breathe the knees back in. And last time, knees into chest. Roll, massage out. Maybe lift the head and the shoulders, tight, tight ball. And let's make our way into final relaxation. So if you need to, using bolsters underneath the knees, blocks underneath the head, getting warm if you're not already. And taking the arms out to the side of you, making sure that you're not touching anything in your space. So if your hand is touching your block, move it out of the way. If it's touching a chair, wiggle away from the chair and just shimmy a little bit through the lower back. Wiggle the buttocks, wiggle the hips, wiggle the legs. Make sure the ankles are floppy, toes are relaxed. And then that comes up into the shoulder blades. You get the shoulder blades, a nice little massage. And then you start to slow that down until you come into complete stillness, where we're going to stay for the next 5 minutes. We're just going to allow all of that wonderful, slow and stretchy work to sink in to every single cell, every single ligament, tendon, cartilage, muscle, joint, all of the fascia, the connective tissue that makes our skeletal and muscular system complete. So here we can fully relax everything, no engagement of muscles, softening out through the joints, feeling the body become heavier, sinking, melting deeper into the mat. And maintaining presence in the mind before we re-enter our day. I'll leave you for some silence and let you know when it's time to come back around. beginning to take some deeper breaths as you bring your awareness back into your surroundings, back onto the mat and into the body by wiggling fingers, wiggling toes. Moving wrists, hands, ankles, feet, and just stretching, drawing knees in, whatever you need to do. Before returning to a comfortable seat with the hands in Anjali Mudra. And just sitting tall, checking in with now how you feel after your practice. Giving yourself a body scan all the way from the top of the head right down to the little toes and everything in between. And just return back to your intention. What was your purpose for being on the mat today? What did you need most? What did you wish to receive? And how do you want to feel when you walk away and roll up your mat back into your daily life? Always thanking yourself, your breath, your energy, your focus, and your body. And I thank you. Namaste.